Definitely something over there.
These are the 5 horrifying forest encounters you can never imagine.
Ooh, that about gave me a heart attack.
Jerbea is a YouTuber known for his extreme exploration of the unknown. He goes on all kinds of adventures, some of which are scary camping adventures in crazy locations in search of Bigfoot and other cryptids. But in one of his camping adventures, things went from normal to downright terrifying. In February 2024, he uploaded a video where he was seen preparing for a night in the forest, bundled up against the cold with a fire going and some rechargeable hand warmers. It's a classic setup for a back-to-nature experience, or so it seems. Things started getting eerie when he heard noises outside the tent.
Branch just fall there? Did you guys hear that? It's like right outside the tent.
A branch falls, and while you might shrug that off in the middle of the woods, his reaction sets the stage for something more dangerous. When you're alone, pitch black surroundings can play tricks on your mind, and every little sound feels amplified. There's an easy buildup, especially with J-Bear's Bigfoot references. He's left offerings like apples and bananas.
Couple videos ago, I left an offering. I left him a couple apples, banana, and then I don't know if he took them or another animal. But they're gone. Like, there is no signs of anything now.
Done knocks and calls and even tried to communicate with Bigfoot. At this point, you're probably thinking, is this guy for real? But the real question is, what is out there? Bigfoot or something far worse? The suspense reaches a peak as he heads to the offering tree in complete darkness with nothing but a weak flashlight. Then something hits the ground from above, nearly landing on him.
What the heck was that? That sucker came flying.
The forest can be really dangerous, not just because of wildlife, but because things can go wrong in an instant. Whether it's a falling branch or an uninvited guest, you're never entirely safe out here. Then suddenly, the whole camping and the quietness surrounding his tent took on wild shock. A terrifying moment when he heard something, maybe footsteps, outside the tent. This isn't some cute forest critter checking out his gear. This is more than one person or animal.
There's more than one. More than one. Crap, wrong way.
With heavy footsteps circling the tent. If you've ever camped before, you know this is nightmare fuel. He starts to panic, and rightfully so. It's easy to speculate. What if it's just kids messing around? Maybe it's someone from a nearby campsite having a bit of fun. But the breathing and the strange noises suggest something more deliberate, more menacing.
Please no. Please no. Please leave. Please leave. Please leave.
Suddenly, he was attacked. Whatever or whoever it was started throwing objects to the tent, and it was clear that he was in serious danger.
It's throwing stuff at the tent.
His fear soared high, and at this point, anything could happen. Will he come out here alive, or is it his final moment? If this were some paranormal activity, it would be chilling enough. But the fact that he suspects actual people makes it even scarier. Why? Because while the wilderness is unpredictable, people can be far more dangerous. The idea that someone might be out there with malicious intent is unsettling. After a week, J-Bear returns to the campsite only to find his tent destroyed, a cinder block thrown on top, and the fabric slashed.
Man, I'm so glad we left, guys.
It's clear that this wasn't some random prank. Someone had it out for him. The haunting part is that they might have been watching him the whole time, waiting for their moment to strike. J-Bear's relief at not being in the tent when it was attacked is genuine. Had he stayed, this could have ended much worse.
Man, I'm so glad we left, guys. Look at that.
The slashed tent door indicates that whoever did this was serious, and the fact that they threw a cinder block is just plain creepy. Whether it was some deranged person lurking in the woods, or a group with ill intentions, it's clear that this experience has left a lasting impact on J-Bear. One thing's for sure, this camping trip was no ordinary adventure. It was a brush with the unknown, and not the kind you want to repeat. When this video was uploaded to TikTok, it instantly blew up, gaining millions of views. Thousands of people were left scratching their heads, trying to figure out what that terrifying creature was. Some were shocked beyond belief, and others were left asking a scary question. Should we start fearing the forest because of real-life cannibals? Could cannibals actually be out there, lurking in the wild, waiting for their next meal? The guy in the video is well known for posting content on TikTok while running. In fact, he's a professional runner. He shared tons of videos, but this particular one was horrifying. It wasn't like anything he had posted before. It went way beyond viral. It went off the hook, and not in a good way. While filming himself in the middle of a dense, creepy forest, contemplating whether or not he should go to school that day, out of nowhere, something unspeakably emerged from the shadows. Unlike anything you'd ever want to meet, a figure came stalking right out of the trees, and suddenly, the entire atmosphere shifted. Cannibals, they say, are naturally fast runners, trained by years of hunting their prey in the wild. For them, chasing down food is just another day. You could feel his fear in every breath, his panic clear as day as he sprinted faster and faster, trying to get away. If you look closely at the video, you can actually see the cannibal holding a sharp knife, chasing him through the trees. The entire situation was horrifying. The question is, did he manage to outrun his nightmare? Or is there more to this story than we've been told? When the guy was later asked about what he saw, he couldn't even describe it. All he knew is that it was coming for him, and he had to run for his life.
Somebody's back here again.
February 14, 2022, Lisa, a young woman who loves adventures, uploaded a video in which she experienced her first creepy moment in the middle of the forest at night while sleeping inside her van.
I hear footprints.
Everything started at 4:30 in the morning. Definitely not the time anyone would want to deal with something terrifying. Lying there, dead asleep in her van, a knock jolt suddenly awakens her. A knock comes from the outside door of her van. Staying alone at night in the forest can be very dangerous. Anything can happen, and nobody could have traced the track back. And the sense that someone is tapping on your van, that alone sends a gruesome fear down anyone's heart. The strange thing is, after she shouted hello, an answer came from outside.
Hello? How can I help you? It's 4:30 in the morning. I don't feel safe. Who are you?
But whoever it was, they were still there, lurking outside on a bike, as if they were planning something dangerous. She's lucky she didn't open the door. Can you even imagine what might have happened if she had? You can't help but think of all the horror stories where people make that one mistake, opening the door to see what was going on, and things go downhill fast. After hearing the knock on the side of the van again, this time when she peeks outside through the van from the front mirror, she can only make out headlights in the distance, and just like that, the person backs away into the shadows.
So I quietly got up and I went to the front and I peeked out and parked way up on the drive. All I could see is like headlights, and then they backed out and went and left.
At this moment, she knew this was way beyond normal. Her life is in danger, and if she doesn't handle this situation well, anything can happen to her. Not able to sleep awake knowing that some creep was hanging around her van, she kept videoing every single moment. But here is where things got out of hand.
I believe it was second, could be the third knock, and they would knock 3 times every time. I just mustered hello and no answer. The person was on a bike, like a pedal bike, like a 10-speed bike, a mountain bike or something, and they were up the drive. And so I just came and lied back down and trying to register what the hell just happened, who was that, what did they want, what were their intentions, and all I could think about is they were probably planning on robbing what was ever inside the van. So I just kind of like went back to sleep, or lied back down, went back to bed, I should say, and about 15 minutes later, I hear it again, like a knock on the side of my van again.
The stranger came back 3 times, but what was the intention? Was this person trying to rob her? Letting someone know you are vulnerable is not the best way to respond. And to top it off, the person was using the same car they had earlier. The fact that they didn't knock the 3rd time is even scarier, because that means they were just wandering around the van, watching and waiting.
Yeah, somebody was just here again 3 times now. the third time I looked out, they were walking on foot. I seen them walking, and they hid behind the tree there, and then they went to a car, the same car that was here earlier. Well, that was back, and then it backed away and left again.
When the morning light finally came, stepping outside, she found footprints all around her van. Big disturbing footprints along with 2 of her water bottles, spilt for no reason at all.
So I come out this morning and you can see footprints. Look at this one. This is mine. I'll show you. There's mine. See? Right here. Look. Somebody spilled 2 of my water bottles right there. 8 liters of water gone, but I don't know why. I don't know why they were, look, see? And then over here, these are like literally footprints. I never go there. If I collect my snow, I go right on this path and I cross over here, and that's my spot right there. But look, they were actually, there's some more. Look at that. They came here, they were standing here, as you can see. Look at the footprints though, look at that, that's massive.
It's like whoever it was wanted her to know they'd been there, that they could have done something worse if they'd wanted to. The footprints, the empty water bottles, it's all a sign that this person wasn't just messing around. They were dangerous. They could have been planning something sinister. The fact that she even kept a knife next to her bed just in case speaks volumes. The whole story leaves you with an uneasy feeling. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't what happens, it's what could have happened. Thanks she came back safely. With over 44 million views, this video uploaded on November 2, 2014 has sparked a lot of concern and fear. Out of nowhere, a massive grizzly bear appears, and not just wandering by, it was rushing straight towards the cyclist. The cyclist had a GoPro camera on, so everything was captured, and you can literally feel the panic in the air. At that moment, there's only one thought racing through his head. He needs to get out of here fast. With his ride suddenly turning into a life or death chase, the guy looks back and sees the bear getting closer, way closer than anyone would ever want. His heart must have been pounding in his chest. This fear took over, making him pedal like his life depended on it. It's terrifying to think that in the blink of an eye, the forest that was so peaceful has now turned into a battleground, with a grizzly bear as the enemy. Just imagining being out there alone, knowing that one wrong move could be the end. It's a nightmare come to life. With every glance back, the bear seems to be gaining ground, charging at full speed. The cyclist pushes harder, pedaling faster than he's ever done in his life. The fear of meeting such a dangerous animal alone in the deep forest, far away from any help, is enough to make anyone's blood run cold. Cycling is usually an adventure, something that brings peace and joy. But for this is the kind of danger no one is prepared for. Then comes the moment of pure terror. He reaches a blocked road. With the bear still in pursuit, he has no choice. He drops his bike and starts running for his life, seeking shelter behind a tree. Grizzlies are known for their sharp instincts and incredible strength. If this bear had decided to search for him, the outcome could have been catastrophic. Bears don't give up easily when they've set their eyes on something, and this one was determined. It's almost a miracle that the bear decided to leave. When the coast was finally clear, he crept back to his bike. He had just come face to face with death and somehow managed to walk away unharmed. It's hard to imagine the relief, but also the realization of just how close he came to not making it. He should be thankful because that kind of fear doesn't go away easily. Every time he steps back into the forest, he'll likely remember the time he was hunted by a grizzly bear and barely made it out alive.
They say that people are the ones to fear. It's not the animals.
While camping in a forest, an adventurer documented his terrifying experience. It all seems fine at first. The calm woods, a flowing creek, and soft ground, perfect for pitching a tent. You can feel his excitement as he explores, but deep down, something doesn't feel right. There's a saying about nature. While it can be beautiful and serene, it can also turn terrifying in the blink of an eye, and that was about to happen here. As the night hit, things start to get a little scary. First, he hears a heavy sound nearby, like something big is moving in the shadows.
And I don't think I was recording earlier, but something made a heavy sound over there.
At first, he brushes it off, thinking maybe it's just some old logs settling or a harmless animal. But he can't shake the feeling that something is out there.
Could have just been some old rotted logs settling.
Watching him, as he works to set up his tarp, he hears more unsettling noises, this time much closer, in the middle of the wilderness, where no one can hear you scream. Every crunch of a twig feels like a threat. He shines his light into the forest, hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever's out there, but all he sees is darkness. He stands there for minutes, scanning the trees, but nothing reveals itself.
Then I hear behind me where the creek is, about only 50 feet. I hear a couple more loud crunches, and that's when I stand up and I just shine the forest. I didn't see any eyes glowing back, didn't see any movement, other than I did see a bat. But definitely that is not what made the loud noises.
Is it hiding? Is it waiting for the right moment to pounce? After some time, he decided to go back to his vehicle, but that was when this happened. It is quite unfortunate that he thought he was recording the scene that happened on the road while he was going back, but his camera disappointed him. As he hits his eye beams, he sees something standing by the side of the road. Whatever it wasn't moving. It was pretending to be a statue, standing still.
And this is where it gets terrifying. And I thought I had pressed record, but it was not recording. But anywho, I've got my low beam on at this point. I think I see something small. Maybe it's like a raccoon or something right there by the water. And as I hit the high beam, this is when I see it. I see something standing there on the side of the road, pretending to be a statue.
At first, he thinks it might be a small animal, like a raccoon, but then the high beams reveal the truth. It's a person, and not just any person, a figure dressed in full camouflage, standing about 6 feet tall, angled away slightly, as if trying to avoid detection. For 20 long, terrifying seconds, he keeps his light on the figure. The figure doesn't move an inch. It just stands there like a statue.
I'm not even kidding. It looks like somebody dressed up in camo, looking like a human that I just caught that was probably sneaking up on me. That's all I can think. And I kept the light on him for a good 20 solid seconds without saying anything.
Being out in the wilderness completely alone and someone is just watching you silently from a distance is devastating. The fear of wild animals seemed like nothing compared to the terror of what a person might do out here in the woods, where no one would ever know what happened. Realizing the danger, he pretended that he didn't see the camouflaged figure. He slowly turns back, making his way to his vehicle, periodically glancing back to make sure he's not being followed. And just like that, the figure disappears into the darkness, gone as mysteriously as it had appeared.
On my way out, periodically I turn back, check. Nope, didn't see him, he's gone. And that's that.
Happily, he was able to return home safely. This leaves us with a sense of unease. Nature can be unpredictable, sure, but it's the human element that can turn an adventure into a nightmare. Beyond that, there are dangerous animals that you must watch out for while camping in the forest. If you are going alone, make sure you have your firearm with you.